Hello beautiful people, and good morning. Figured I'd do like a long form video because I'm actually going to be seeing for the first time, hopefully, this reservoir, this is it three, oh man, I just mind something three cherry or creek or something. I don't know, man. Hopefully we'll pass the sign on the way, but I'll show you where I camped. Now you might ask yourself, why so close to any kind of road? The answer is visibility. It's actually safer to be somewhere where there's a little bit of visibility. But also notice that there's a barrier between myself and any kind of like traffic, so like there's also that added safety there. Here's where I had everything set up. I already broke everything down. It's also a little bit elevated too, so if anybody wanted to like try to shoot me or, you know, throw something, I guess it'd be a little bit harder. These are the things that go through my mind, you know what I mean? Not that they've happened or will happen, but like they're just things that go through my mind. So anyway, give me a second here, and I'm going to grab my stuff here. Got everything all packed up. Tent materials, camp, sleeping mat, sleeping bag. This thing started kind of like tearing a hole, so I put this just here temporarily, and so I can find something to patch it with. And I've got my regular bag here. I only wear this at night. You know, it's just one layer of security that I have. So yes, just give me a second. I'm gonna get my pack together. Okay, and this slings over my shoulder. Alright, sorry, I forgot what way I was oriented. I don't know, hopefully we're not flipped. I don't know how this works. Yeah, I'm new, obviously. I wonder if it was, it wasn't naturally that way. I didn't know that Colorado had natural cactuses. First I found one the first time, and I was like, oh, somebody, you know, threw away a cactus, and then there's a better looking one, and it kind of propagated out here a little bit. But I've seen different species and stuff, and I didn't expect that. I guess these are, I forget what you call those. That looks like a black-billed magpie. We don't have those out east. They got little personalities. I like them. They're scared at first usually, but like if you feed them, and they're noisy. I've got stories with them, but if you feed them, much like crows, I've befriended both kinds of those birds in different places. They'll actually attack your enemies for you and warn you of things. So I think it's actually kind of cool. So yeah, I leave if I get extra food out, and I'll leave it for the crows in the morning. I'm gonna be staying in the same area and befriend a crow. And that sounds kind of stupid, but I do it. Also, oh yeah, they'd like to come and land on top of my tent early in the morning and make the noises that you're hearing, and they're loud, and they're not afraid to, like, if they see any kind of food coming for it. So if I wasn't filming, I probably would have tried to feed that one, because I always have a little bit of food on me for the night, as well as water. It's like maybe there's some kind of effort, cleanup effort to get some of the bums out of here. I get along with a lot of homeless people, but there's a certain percentage that don't like me that I don't like, and I hesitate to call them bums because I don't know their stories. I don't know if they're disabled or whatever, but the lifestyle they live is different than mine, and I dress differently, I'm clean, and they see me different. You know, whenever I first started doing this, I did go through the whole thing of like, oh, I'll just you know, I'll dress a certain way to look like I'm worse off than I am, And that's just not me. It really isn't. And also I'm trying to do better. Like, I'm trying to chase this dream until I can't anymore, at least until I can say that I tried, before I sell out and become a yes man. So yeah, I'm taking it seriously, you know what I mean? And I like to look good as I can, and I like to do my best to pull chicks. That's always me. I know that sounds douchey, but honestly, like, I'm a lover of women, and I could get into like all that, but like, I was raised by women. I don't really get along well with guys. My best friends in high school were girls. You know, I have like platonic friends that are girls. Like, I'm totally capable of that. Like, I'm not like a guy that has to tag every girl he meets. And I really do respect women a lot, actually. And I could get into, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit close to being a purist feminist in the way that I view women and certain things that are going on. But I'm not going to go off on all that, you know. But I just know that I support you and I love you no matter what. And chivalry is not dead. Oh, look. There it is. I want to say now that my brain has been going longer than 10-15 minutes. I think it's Cherry Creek Reservoir. It's in Aurora by the 9 Mile station. That's what I did. I took this train down last night to the 9 Mile station. Excuse me, I know this is gross, but excuse me. I took a train down to 9 Mile station and just kind of got off. I use Google Maps, satellite views, GPS. Yesterday I bought a couple tile trackers for security that I've got. I mean, like, I use technology. When I first started doing this, and you can ask my family, I was pure on survivalist, and you know, I had a bug out bag whenever I first became homeless, and you know, I lived off the land, and I really tried that out, and you know, I had survivalist handbooks. There goes another black-billed magpie. And so my approach to this nowadays is very different. I think really that I just did it that way just to say that I could. I think every teenage boy wonders if he can survive like an animal, and to know that you can is empowering, especially like surviving winters. I have survived four or five, I want to say 4 solid, like all the way through winters, like sleeping outside every night in, you know, snowstorms. I have experienced hypothermia when I was less experienced. The phenomenon of paradoxical undressing is real. Delusions, all that. It was almost like a religious experience for me. For like such a logical, grounded guy, it's something that it's one of those things that I've had happen that I find hard to kind of rationalize, because my first-hand experience is already not evidence of anything, and it's unreliable. And if I'm delusional and hallucinating, then it's really not that reliable. But it was very profound. So I don't know. Maybe I should do more long form, because I'm having a pretty easy time blabbing on. I'm reaching for my strawberry banana prime. I love prime, seriously, just like the taste and like the ways that it feeds the body. I listen to my body when it comes to putting in like what I put in, and I love this stuff. Sponsor me. Anyway, yeah, right. Don't they sponsor like Mr. Beast or some shit? Ooh, nailed it. Cherry Creek Reservoir. So this would probably be like Cherry Creek Trail or whatever. So my idea is I'm gonna rest you down for a split second while I take a swig of delicious Prime strawberry banana flavor. Okay. So here's the old nostril. So I think I hate about winter, I get like the sniffles, hardcore, nonstop. I had deviated septum when I was in martial arts, when my sensei accidentally snap kicked me right between the eyes, and I think that he broke my septum. But anyway, my nose just goes and goes and goes all winter, so I gotta have a fresh supply of napkins. So every time in the bathroom, I like just kind of yoink like a whole shit ton of those out, and I always have a pretty good supply. It helps also with drying out drying out my tent and stuff. I've yet to solve the conundrum of how to stop condensation from forming inside a tent. I think that's a fucking invention. We used to have this thing for our basement, and it was like a bag of salt, and what it did was it absorbed all the humidity. So I wonder if you can like make a little satchel of that and put it in your tent, and I wonder if that would solve that. I don't know. It's really a pain in the ass because I gotta fucking wipe all the condensation out every morning and dry it out, and it has a really good tendency to run down into my sleeping bag, saturate that. I've got this whole theory on that like it this is how my brain works, okay? This is how stupid I am. Okay, so like that's my breath, right? So it's got my saliva in it, and my saliva's got proteins in it, and so like over time the proteins in that get into my sleeping bag, and then it dries out, right? But the proteins remain. The water grows, the proteins remain, and that's why my fucking sleeping bag gets like weird and stiff. And it's not for any other reason. I'm gonna jaywalk, fuck this. But yeah, it's weird. I haven't figured it out. I keep using like wrinkle releaser and fabric softener and shit on it, but like it just gets all weird and crinkly. I don't like it. But yeah, you can see how particular I am about things. I actually do a really good job. When I was a kid, I used to have OCD so bad that I would like wash my hands until they would just crack and bleed, and it was awful. And I would like go to bed, and I would lay down, and then I would just crave a sip of water. And I'd get up and I'd get a sip of water, and I'd just do that over and over and over and over again, and wash my hands and just cry all night. And like, then I developed like this fear of sleeping, and all day I would just be dreading sleeping, and it was bad, man. I was diagnosed with ADHD, put on Adderall when I was a kid. My adolescent brain developing dependent on an amphetamine narcotic pretty much set me up to become like an addict. It caused all these issues for me. But I did do martial arts when I was a kid, and my dad was really into it. My dad put me in as soon as like the first time I got bullied really hard. And but it wasn't just about self-defense. it was also about like building character and self-discipline, and a big lesson that like my dad, because it wasn't just that, like it was like my whole life. It was how I was raised, standing at attention, like the way I was disciplined. You know, taught me like mind over matter and stuff like that, which at the time I was like, all right, my dad watched Karate Kid so many times or whatever, but honestly it shaped me into who I become, and mind over matter has become like my greatest strength. I have extremely high pain tolerance. I can control like what my body does, when my body does it. For a large part, I'm in really good shape. Like I have a resting 45 heart rate, which is like a runner's heart. So I like that. You know, I meditate and everything. That just it shaped who I become. Martial arts were really great for me. Yeah, so like I used that to kind of, I imagine you can't hear anything or see anything, but I use that to kind of help me with my mental illnesses. And I do struggle socially. I do have traumas. Living home free, as I like to call it, for 7 years now. There's been some shit has happened. I've moved past, the things in my past. I don't hold grudges. I don't hate anyone. I'm a Cancer. You know what I mean? I was born in June 26th, so I love everybody. I really do. Even as a kid, like I would just go up to people and hug them and be like, I love you. And the world has had its fucking field day with me, let me tell you. Yeah, it really, 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 really has chewed me up and spit me out, as my dad predicted. He doesn't remember saying that, actually, but and I think he thinks that like I hold it against him, but I really don't. He was like extremely, extremely right. He was in response to like something in me. I used to be just upset about every little thing. I convinced myself that I have cancer when I was like younger, and like that was like it. Like I was dead. I thought I was dead. That was it. Life was over. I'll never get to touch a girl. I mean, seriously, I was like a kid, and like I'm having these thoughts of death and stuff. I think losing my friend whenever I was a kid fucked me up. I never talked to anybody about that. So I grew up in McKeesport, PA. That's kind of like the hood. And I got rescued from that when I was 9 by my dad. And I went to go live with him. And then I came back to visit my mom, and I went to go see my friend. And I guess like somebody was trying to shoot somebody else, and it shot him through like a window or something. But I just got to play with him, and like I showed up and I was like, hey, can Jason come out to play? And like just the look on his mom's face and everything. And I did not understand, and I did not know until not a long time, but until I talked about it with somebody, and they were like, yeah, that happened. So I also lost the figurehead of like my development was my grandmother. Her name was Linda Wiggins. She was an amazing person. Anybody can attest to that. She's a big part of who I am. And for a time I really thought, like, I really like to believe that, like, she walks with me and stuff like that. And yes, maybe in essence she does, but I like to think that she's passed on. She's in a good place. She's happy. There's the train station. It's actually multi-tiered. I got off and didn't know that, and I saw the elevators and I was like, oh, okay. So, but anyway, yeah, she was great. She passed away of lung cancer when I was 19. So one of the reasons I'm not crazy about smoking. The other reason is obviously I'm a singer. I really am working on putting like more music and stuff online, but like 90% of my life is getting to the music. The other, you know, and then I play my newer sets. I'm guilty of not playing my older stuff. So there really is like, I probably know or can play on recording, meaning without the use of the phone for tabs and chords and stuff, unless I write it down. Maybe like a good 40, 50 songs. So I mean, like, I could put some stuff up, but I just don't feel like I do those songs as well as the things that I found in the newest phase of my music journey here, which I feel like I can sing pretty good. And we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, I can put some stuff up. One of them is, what is it? Pinch Me by Bare Naked Ladies was one that I used to like to do a lot. There was Beautiful Girls by Sean Kingston. I used to do a lot of older stuff too. I mean, like, seriously, like, this would be fucking such a cool place to skateboard. I bet you they got signs everywhere. So, you know, just anything that ever played on the radio, I probably gave it a shot, and if it worked, I saved it. And at one point I have I still have it, it's falling apart, but a book, and anytime I found anything that worked, before I had the funds to have a paid phone plan that I kept going, I would write it down in a book. And that was my tabs, chords, journals, drawings, poetry, you know, songwriting, whatever. This is 9 Mile Station, so that's where I'll be going after breakfast. I'm gonna go to Starbucks and have breakfast, charge my devices. Always got a couple of power banks with me. So anyway, I just noticed that I'm still armed, so I should probably fucking at least, you know what, whatever, fuck it, it's on my belt. Honestly, like, this is where I usually keep it. I can get to that faster than I can get to anything on my belt anymore. There's the bus depot. So on second thought, I'm gonna have to use this phone to figure out where the fuck I'm going anyway, so I'm gonna conclude it here.